party down, location mysterious. Wanna rock this con like my man James Tiberius. Jesse and Marina, they're mad clever like the Negus. Gonna guide you through the scenes, beam from London to Las Vegas. Where to go, how to dress, when to sleep, who to see. Celebs not to miss, Sardis Wong and SMG. Star Trek into awesome, build some memories at last. Set the proper course, the Shore Leave Podcast. Boom.
And welcome to 59th episode of Shore Leave, your Star Trek Convention Community Podcast. I am Marina Kravchuk, one of your co-hosts, and with me is the wonderful Jesse Akendo. How are you, Jesse?
Hey, I'm happy to be here. This is an exciting one for us.
Oh, yes, it is. As you all know, Shore Leave is part of the Tricorder Transmissions Network, and if you enjoy what we do here on Shore Leave or any other of our sister Tricorder Transmissions shows, please consider joining our Patreon. You can go directly to patreon.com/the Tricorder Transmissions or visit our network webpage, which is www.thetricordertransmissions.com, and click on the Patreon link. And we would like to thank all of our regular listeners and our Patreon supporters for chiming in and supporting us. And let's talk about the following. Now, I've been to close to 70 conventions now, but this is going to be my very first floating one. Jesse, why don't you talk about what we're going to be discussing?
Absolutely.
Introduce our special guest, yes.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk about Star Trek The Cruise 4. So our listeners, you know that Jesse was crazy enough to go on all the cruises, including the back-to-back. On with us, we are so excited to have Joey Fairchild, Director of Production for Entertainment Cruise Productions. Joey, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us more about ECP?
Sure. First off, thank you, Jesse. Thanks and Marina for having me. Happy to be here. Like you said, my name is Joey Fairchild. I am the Director of Production for Entertainment Cruise Productions. We are the ones who produce the Star Trek cruise. I've been working for Entertainment Cruise Productions for just around 15 years, and over that time, I've done around 70 full ship charters. So I've cruised a lot. So one of the things, or the main thing that we do, is we produce cruises. So not only do we produce Star Trek The Cruise, we produce the 80s cruise, we produce the Smooth Jazz cruise, we produce Blue Note at Sea, we have some other jazz cruises, we have a motorcycle cruise of all things called the High Seas Rally, and many, many others that we've produced over the years. And that's what we do, and we're the best at it. We take over a cruise ship and we turn it into whatever that theme is and fill it with a lot of great talent and bring on a bunch of guests and have a good time for a week.
That's incredible. So how did the whole Star Trek happen? Somebody got, a ping, why don't we do Star Trek one? Or did somebody from CBS actually reach out?
Yeah, it definitely came from CBS. Like I said, we've been doing this for a long time. I've been with the company 15 years. I guess the company's been going on for, 20 plus years. So we definitely have a name in the industry, and you get to meet different people. And someone in our company knew someone at CBS, and they started talking, and they were like, hey, would you guys ever consider doing a Star Trek cruise? This was CBS asking us. And obviously everyone in our company was like, yes, of course. Are you kidding me? It's Star Trek. It would be awesome. And they just started talking, and they were like, well, we were like, well, how would we do it? What would we do? Like, these guys aren't going to come out there, are they? And they were like, oh, yeah, William Shatner's ready to go. This person's ready to go. This person's ready to go. And we're like, okay, let's go. And we planned it for about 18 months or so, and we launched it. And I want to say the first one sold out in about under 3 months.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
I remember because you guys made an announcement at Star Trek Las Vegas, which is when I signed up, and then it was just like sold out. And it's the first time I was ever on anything that sold out, so I was kind of excited.
Yeah, and it's just every year we try to make it bigger, we try to make it better, and it's really in a groove, and it's just amazing, and it's one of a kind, and we have a really good time out there.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I keep hearing just the best, commentaries about this. And now we know that, it's going to be even bigger ship. So the whole thing's going to be even better and bigger, I guess.
So, Joey, we did one podcast already after the last cruise. We had one of our STLV and cruise folks, Sherry, on, and we talked through Star Trek The Cruise. She had been on the Gorn show, so we've talked up the cruise like crazy. So we wanted to give you an opportunity. Since I didn't even go on vacations until Star Trek Las Vegas, and now I only take 2 vacations, and it's the cruise and Star Trek Las Vegas. So please don't produce anything else I want to do because I can't afford to go anymore. But guys, so what we did is we reached out to our Star Trek The Cruise 4 Facebook group, along with our Star Trek Las Vegas unofficial convention group, and we just asked, hey, what do you want to know? And so Marina and I went through the questions, and we've passed them along, and we have quite a few, and we're going to try to get through most of them and see how it goes. So Joey, if you don't mind, we're just going to start throwing them out, and then just kind of banter back and forth, and let us know how things go.
Cool. Hit me with it. Let's do it.
All right. So I'll start with the first one, Marina, and then we'll just swap back and forth. Okay. Yeah. So one of the first things everybody wants to know is we've got the new Star Trek Picard show that's out. And this came up when Star Trek Discovery came out and we were on the high seas. So are we going to have a chance to see a Star Trek Picard that may be shown while we're at sea?
That is the plan. So we're working with CBS right now, and as long as everything goes as per plan, yes, we will be showing that week's episode at sea. Obviously, there's a lot of logistics that are involved with that, and a lot of rights and approvals, and CBS made it happen last time, and so they're pushing real hard this time. So there's not an official yes yet, but everything is in the plans to make that happen.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, Marina.
That is amazing. Yes. I know I've been told that actually the TV channels that, I can just sit in my cabin and turn on the TV and watch something, that there are actually dedicated TV channels. Is there going to be the same thing this time around, the dedicated Star Trek channel, or at least something where you're showing Star Trek specifically just because it's a chartered cruise?
Yeah, so you're new, right? You said you've never cruised before.
Yeah,
I've never done the Star Trek.
I kept like this literally a tsunami of information crashed at me the moment I said, well, I'm going to the cruise this year. And they're like, oh, yep, well, this happens and this happens. And I'm like, this is like almost Star Trek overload in a nutshell.
It really is. So what we do and what our goal is, we take over the entire ship. We cancel pretty much everything that's going on, and we make everything Star Trek 24 hours. And part of that is taking over channels. So yeah, the plan is to take over a few channels. Some will be dedicated to episodes. Some will be dedicated to movies. The other thing we do is up at the pool every night, there will be a movie shown every evening. This ship specifically has a big screen that's permanently installed. So it's really big. We can control it really well. And the pool is laid out really great to where it's like raked seating. So it really does feel like an outdoor movie theater. Wow. So that is something that we do as well. There will also be other opportunities where there's morning episodes, afternoon episodes at times. Some of the actors even get up and talk about episodes they were in, start and stop the episode and talk about that. So yeah, you've got a lot of opportunity to see all that. And one thing I didn't really tell you about is my job is pretty much to make sure that everything is happening on the ship. I work with all the teams for the decor and all the props. I work with the actors and figure out what they're going to do for their shows and entertainment, and just kind of help oversee the entire process. We have a really big team that goes out there to produce the cruise, and they're all really great. And I'm very lucky to be part of that team, and you're going to get to see it. So yeah, it's fun. And we really try to make the cruise an amusement park as best we can on a cruise ship. So you're kind of walking into Star Trek themed amusement park, but on a cruise ship. So it's pretty neat.
God.
Yeah, and I will tell you. So before this, we were chatting, and I finally remember who Joey is. So he has been there every single cruise, running around like a crazy man, and so it doesn't go unappreciated because I have said before that tall guy is really around everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the best way to describe me. I'm the tall guy, the goofy-looking guy who's running around everywhere doing everything. So yeah, and every now and then you'll see me pop out on stage or in an event and talk to everybody, welcome everybody. I usually come around during the game shows, have some fun and get silly with everybody before the main show starts. So yeah, I have a little fun as well.
So I'm going to go a little off book because this came up before we chatted, and I didn't know. I have forgotten until now. So guys who were on the cruise before will remember that Denise Crosby did the famous like Mystery Science Theater 3000 where she lip synced a Star Trek episode because we were stuck at sea and we had to find things to do. And Joey, I'm guessing you and your team kind of got together and said, what can we do? And so when she did that, it was awesome, and it's become kind of a thing. Is there any chance of a repeat of that?
Yeah, it's definitely become a thing. The way that did happen was it was supposed to be just Denise coming out and introducing an episode. And she didn't really know what the episode was. We grabbed her and said, hey, come on out here, do this. And the audio wasn't working. So in true fashion, she just started doing voiceovers. And then another actor was there and they started doing it and became a huge hit. So now it's become kind of like her thing. So yeah, Denise Crosby and friends. And we will be doing that again one of the
Yeah.
God, that's fantastic.
And it's very well themed because it's Robert Picardo and Ethan Phillips have joined in, so you can only imagine.
Oh my God, yeah, with Ethan Phillips especially. Oh my God.
It's fantastic. So Jay, on that same theme, so I know we have some theme nights and I know we have shows at night. Can you kind of go into kind of what to expect with those things that you guys have planned?
Yeah, I think all the theme nights have been announced to everybody, but the theme nights are, you've got your Starfleet pajama party, pajama jam, which we're repeating. We had that one before and it was a big hit. Everyone really enjoyed that one. We're going to have some fun stuff going on that night. We're going to have Chase Masterson host a pajama karaoke party. So that should be a lot of fun. Another theme night that we're looking forward to is the Adventures of Captain Proton. Since it is the 25th of Voyager.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to bring that one.
This theme. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. We've got, we always have this one kind of goes hand in hand with the cruise and the Caribbean and being out in beautiful locations is Risa Festival of the Moon party. So that'll be fun. Another new one this year is Heroes and Villains, where we're asking guests to kind of either choose their favorite hero, favorite villain, either in the Star Trek universe, outside the Star Trek universe, maybe combine a couple, that could be fun. This year, our Intergalactic Gala is hosted by Gorn, so that should be interesting, and we'll see what happens. I'm sure he'll make some surprise appearances that night. He's become quite the mascot of the cruise as well.
Yes, it's been fantastic. The Gorn show,
and then of course,
especially.
Exactly. And we'll be doing the Gorn show again too, which is our version of the Gong show. And of course, we've got John Delancey, so you can't have John Delancey on board and not have Q's costume party, which is the biggest and best theme night of them all. So those are the theme nights. Some of the shows that we can tell you about that are going to be happening on the main stage this year is Rat Pack. So all the guys are around and they're all going to be doing the Rat Pack show. So that's going to be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Kate Mulgrew is going to do an up close and intimate evening where she's going to tell stories, talk about her new book, really just get down with the guests. So we're looking forward to that. Brent Spiner's got something 100% brand new in store for us. And I'm not going to give it away, but it is 100% brand new and we've been creating it and it's going to be a hoot. So we're looking forward to that. John Delancey is creating another one of his plays. He's done a few different things on the ship where he takes different things out of history and whatnot and creates a play. So he's been working on that. So he's going to do another series in the Dover Trials. Mm-hmm. And let's see, what's another good one that I should tell you about? Oh, this year, which has never been done on the cruise either, which is going to be really cool, is Jeffrey Combs does a one-man show about Edgar Allan Poe.
Yes.
So he's bringing that whole production. So that's going to be really fun.
That's going to be incredible. I had a chance to see him in it, and that is fantastic news.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, that sounds fantastic. I think we kind of want it to get here already. But
yes. But speaking, since we're talking about the evening, and I know this actually popped up from at least 3 or 4 people. The question was, as far as the early show and the late show, how is that being handled on those days when the ship doesn't leave port until 7? So some people who are on the early show potentially would not be even on the ship at the time. How would that work?
Sure. So you've got the typical show times for the main shows are 6:30 and 9. On a couple of those nights that we leave later, we do push back the early show another half hour till 7. So even when you see a port that says, let's just say, for instance, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., all aboard is still going to be at 6 or 6:30, depending on the port and the rules and regulations. So we push the shows back as late as possible, also knowing that a lot of those ports, if we are in at 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., by the time 6 p.m. runs around, everyone's going to be pretty much ready to get back on the ship.
Perfect. So let's see, what do we got? So we've got some folks who have been on a Royal Caribbean, the cruise line before. So the parties, where are the parties going to be? So because now I guess we have a promenade that we didn't have before, and then we still have a pool deck. So how are you going to handle where to put what?
We're spreading them out. We've got all sorts of stuff up our sleeve. So yeah, that's the main reason we decided to move over to Royal Caribbean. Was a lot of great venues. Has a few more toys and stuff for everyone to play with. So you've got a venue called Studio B, which is actually the ice skating rink. And it can be transformed into a couple different setups. It can be a wide open, like arena style when you cover the ice. You can have a stage at one end. Can do a lot of fun stuff in there. So there's going to be some parties that are featured in there. Some parties will still be featured out at the pool. We will have some parties in the promenade, like you talk about. And the promenade is, like a mall that goes from one end of the ship to the other. It's filled with all the shopping. It has different bars, and it's a lot of fun. And it's just really the heart of the ship and a great place to be. We're going to actually transform the dining room into a location for one of the parties this year. It's a 3-story dining room with the whole center open with a big dance floor at the bottom, very much like a beautiful ballroom. So that'd be really fun to where you can really see what's going on no matter what level you're on. So we're going to really just spread it around.
Wow. I suppose as a follow-up to that, I mean, it was kind of a similar question in terms of like using up the spaces on lower decks for the lectures. I'm assuming some sort of Q&A panels, photo signings, autograph sessions. Again, I'm sure we're all going to have this information once everybody's aboard and has all the information in, but just some kind of ideas, like things are kind of located in one area of the ship, just spread out all over again. Any clues?
Yeah, I mean, the ships, the way they're designed, they are kind of spread out and everything. So we'll take advantage of all the venues. So it will be spread out. But the one thing that everyone should feel at ease about is even though it's a bigger ship and holds a few more people, it's not going to be like you're really running that much more than you have on the other ships. It really feels the same as far as that. But yeah, we're going to try to keep most of the photo and autograph sessions all to, again, kind of the dining room area, which we've kind of done on the other ships before. It's a nice big area for the lines and for all the actors to be. So kind of hard to answer, but yeah, it's going to be spread out, because you got the theater at one end of the ship, and then you kind of go down to the other end, and you have another one of the venues down there, Studio B. So it's spread out, but it's good for crowd control too. Keeps people
and one of the things that I want to give you props on is, you guys have always been great at dealing with kind of when things go not quite right. So where the lines have gotten long or where somebody missed something. I mean, I've never seen in a convention, I don't think you'd see as quick of turnaround and just to make things better as you guys have done. And I appreciate that just as a fan. And we've talked about that before because I know like one autograph session or photo session, because experience is the actors kind of talk to you more. It's more intimate because we're on the ship and we're all kind of stuck there. So they take a little more time than a normal convention. And you guys are just ready to do that. So like, I guess the question around that is like, aside of thanking you for that, how do you prepare for that kind of, like it's a ship, like when bad weather and that kind of stuff? What's your process for that?
Well, it's pretty hard to control Mother Nature, but it's just what we do. We're used to it. We always have a few things up our sleeve. If something happens weather-wise to where we can move events or add events, the actors are really great about all that too. The one time that we weren't able to make one of the islands because of bad weather, all the actors came to us and said, hey, what if I do this? What if I do that? We could help do this. And so everyone really chips in and becomes a team effort. And then for the lines and all that, a lot of it is just the way we program stuff. We really want everybody to be able to see absolutely everything that's happening on the ship. That's why there's 2 shows. That's why there's 2 of everything. Most of the events happen twice so that everybody has an opportunity to see it. There are some events you just have to pick and choose because there's just so much going on. So that's part of the way we control the lines is just by doing things a couple times so that people can move around more and see all that. And then, when we see lines, we just try to correct it too, because we don't really want the guests standing in lines and wasting their time doing that. We want you to be able to get in, experience all the fun, and then get out and have more fun somewhere else.
That's great.
This is my personal question because I'm actually not aware how that handled. Most of the conventions, when you do photo ops, either Instaprint photos or you pick them up later, and then you have an opportunity to actually get a JPEG of it, the electronic version. I'm assuming that something similar is in place for that. So it's a very specific and probably silly question, but I just wanted to see how you approach it because we are on the ship. It's I guess like somewhat different perhaps. Is there an opportunity to get an electronic version?
Yeah. Yep. So we work all year with the ship and their photography team, and we get them to handle most of the actor photo sessions. So it will work very similar to where you'll go to your photo session, you'll take your photo. A few hours later, you're able to go down to the photo department, pick up your photo. There's also options to same thing to where you can get stuff digitally and all that. And then later in the week will be the autograph sessions. So that way you're doing all your photos first, and then you have the opportunity to get those photos signed by the actors if you want to do that. Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
It always works out. Like it's always worked out for me. And I will tell you, I had one photo that looked like really dark, and I had gotten back and I didn't notice. And so I reached out to ECP, who reached out to photographers. And I will tell you, within maybe 4 weeks, I got like an updated photo that was fixed, and you guys going above and beyond that. We really, I don't think you understand how much we appreciate that as fans, because we only get to do that photo really once, so thank you so much for that. So the next question. So, karaoke. So we have a pretty big Star Trek karaoke crowd, and so we're kind of wondering what your karaoke plans are, where that may be, and that kind of stuff. And then we have a follow-up question to that as well.
Yeah, we take the karaoke pretty serious as well. We're actually bringing on a couple systems this year, so we're gonna not just rely on what the ship has, but we're bringing on a brand new system as well, which will have a lot more songs, and it'll be a way better system, newer and all that. So that'll be cool. And then anytime there's an artist hosted karaoke party, we'll be doing it in one of the bigger lounges, so where there's more room. But then we just plan on having a lot of karaoke available in general.
Perfect. And one of the things that has come up is, is there a way to know what's available before we sail so people can plan their performances?
Wow, we're gonna get serious here.
People really are into this. Oh my
Listen,
God.
you can't just sing Klingon, you have to practice that stuff.
Well, I don't think that, I will tell you, no matter what we do, I don't know if there's going to be much for Klingon songs on there, but you can transform anything into Klingon now, I guess. I'll ask, I'll see if there's a way that we can to upload like a PDF or something digitally to the website that has the songs. I can ask. That's all I can do.
That would be much appreciated. I just know some of the folks plan their cosplay around some of this karaoke, so that's why they're asking. So, all right.
Serious business. Yes.
This is serious business. Forget this. Forget that. Tell me about the karaoke.
All righty. I think, Marina, you're
yes. I know that this was another one of the big ones from multiple folks, and that is, can you give us any hints about the specialty drinks?
Specialty drinks. Oh, yeah. They've been working on a lot. So it's really cool having a new ship because we had to go in and rethink everything, which is great, because it makes you go in and venues that you might have loved before. We had certain bars and certain things that we loved. Now we didn't have those anymore, so we had to go in and recreate all new stuff. You know what? That is not really my department. We have a whole food and beverage team that comes on with us that transforms all the drinks and really tries to Trekify as much of the food and beverage as possible. So I know they've been working on stuff, and I've seen some of the menus, and all I can say is there's a lot of them. So get ready to drink up.
Perfect.
This is so exciting. I suppose it sort of covers the following question because the one about the specialty restaurants, because so we can assume that everything's going to be trackified.
Yeah, I think some are worried that with the new ship we won't have all the even the Captain Kirk's corner, everything got
year
renamed.
one. Yeah,
and
that was year one.
And then 13 forward and that kind of stuff. So they just want to make sure that we're taking the same kind of care.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised and happy. It's going to be a lot of new stuff, so it's going to be a lot to take in.
Oh God, I cannot wait.
Yeah, and along that same line, is there a 10, 13 forward something? Because we're kind of used to 13 forward by now. So especially the folks who hung out there.
There is it's different ones. It's different ones this year. So nope, it will not be. And then part of the reason was we didn't want it to look like we were calling it in. We didn't want to look like we're just taking the same stuff that we did on the other ship and then trying to repeat it. So we've really created, much as I can think of, I don't know if anything's repeating. I think everything is really new. And this year we really took a lot of care to make sure that we had a good amount of Voyager to really represent the 25th.
Oh, yeah, one of my favorite series, so that's why I'm psyched.
Yeah, Marina and I are both Voyager fans, so we're trying to calm down our fan geekness in front of you, but we're kind of excited.
Not working. No, it's not working.
Oh, you're gonna be blown away. You're gonna be blown away.
I am planning on a big Voyager year celebration. So it's starting out with the cruise, so I'm going out with a big bang, I suppose.
Yeah. And kudos to whoever decided on the ship being a Voyager class ship, because I thought that was pretty nifty just when you started.
Is it just was it specifically picked, or is it just a lucky coincidence? Incidentally, do you know?
Oh, I'm just gonna say it was specifically picked. Of course.
We can't blame you. You got to take advantage of that. So we kind of wanted to talk through rebooking. So I know that the good portion of this year you had rebooked before we even got off the ship. So I remember that whole process. So we're wondering, have you guys talked through or how you're going to do that process this year? I mean, we had a bit of a wait and that kind of thing, but I think the fans are just more already planning on Cruise 5. So we kind of want to know what they should be ready for.
Right. Well, there was an email that went out about some of the booking and how 2020 was going to work. Trying to see if I have any notes on it anywhere. I know there's going to be a thing where you're going to be able to pretty much reserve, if you want to reserve your same cabin before you even get on the ship, you're going to be able to do that and then not have to worry about doing anything on the ship. I know they've created something and communication already went out, and they'll probably hit everybody up again with more info on it, but they're trying to make it again. We don't want to see people wait in lines. We want to see people out having a good time. So they came up with a process to where if you knew you were going to come back for Voyage 5, you could just pretty much sign up right away, kind of reserve your same cabin and not have to worry about anything on the ship. But I do not have the exact details, but check your emails because I know something went out.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Perfect. So, and I will, let me just throw a shout out to your gang there again, rebooking and stuff. And I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Kelly has been fantastic. I've known her since year one, and she's the name that comes up the most when people are telling me about ECP and how great they are. So we want to special shout out to Kelly and thank her for all her help.
Yeah, she's great.
Alrighty. So what do we, okay. So I'm going to ask this next question because, so the host, so how are we doing hosting this year? Gorn, JT, one or the other? How are you going to have a host this year, or a cruise director, I guess?
Yeah, it's really more of a cruise director. So, we try to get the Gorn to do as much as he was willing to do, but it seems like people just don't really understand him very well. So then we have to get one of the cruise directors to go up there. So yeah, we work with a bunch of different cruise directors on all of our cruises, and JT's done it the last couple of years, and he's coming back again. I know a lot of the folks love him, and he's excited. So yeah, JT will be there again as well.
Yeah, and I remember he did a promotional video on the new ship, with the Gorn. Didn't he do that about a year ago?
They went onto the ship and they did some filming and check it out, and so.
Hey, Marina, we're gonna have to find that and put that on the.
Yes, and actually, it's definitely. I'm pretty sure that the video is available on the main website. I think it's there.
Perfect.
So,
yeah, I think
absolutely.
so.
Yeah.
All right, Marina, you got
Well,
the next couple.
Yeah, this is actually something that I was wondering myself. I mean, this is obviously, a change. You changed went from Norwegian to Royal Caribbean. The ship changed. Were there any kind of like unique challenges or anything translating the cruise basically from this one way of doing it, I suppose, for this company and the ship, and then kind of transfer it to a much larger ship and dealing with a different host? Challenges or issues?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like anything. It's like if you live in a house for a couple years and you've got all your furniture and everything is for that house, and then you decide to move into that new house, it presents its challenges. So that's a lot of it. And that's why I say, a lot of the stuff that we did on the old ship, we just kind of said, okay, we need to not try to use that or rehash it really and just start from scratch, which is kind of what we've done. I mean, there's not a perfect ship out there. There really isn't. I wish I could take bits from this ship and bits from that ship and put it all together and create the perfect ship. But we spend a lot of time. We're usually looking at ships a couple years out to see what it was. And Star Trek started on Norwegian on that class, and we did 3 years on there, and we just thought it was time for a change and something new. Like we talk about it being a theme park. You go back to the same theme park if the rides don't change. It seems to be a little boring. So we just wanted to switch it up and have something new for the guests, and then new areas to explore. And you've got the wave run, or not wave runner, but like the flow rider pool on this one where you can surf. It's got a big rock climbing wall, the miniature golf. It's just got even a lot more stuff that has nothing to do with necessarily Star Trek, but just more things for guests to do. So it just worked out well.
No, it's definitely appreciated
Very
because I
exciting.
know. So one of the great things this year has been that I can't tell anyone a lot because it's a different ship. So like the questions come in and I'm like, hey, it's new to me this year, right? Because I have not been on this cruise line. I've not been on this ship before. And so it really is, this year has been really cool because like it's even at a different time of year. So I've gotten to prepare for it like I did the first time again. So I don't know if anybody really appreciates that.
That's what's great about it is, you've done every single cruise. So there's not many like you out there that have done the back-to-back even when we did 2 in a row. So you've done 4 cruises out of the 3 years. So, I mean, this is 100% brand new to you. You have no idea what to expect. So that is like an exciting feeling.
I am very excited. So can you give us any like hints on what you're doing for Cruise 5, or is that still all buttoned up as you're planning?
It's going to be cool. I mean, we're always trying to see what we can do different and see what new and is exciting out there. But we're going to announce the lineup night 1. We'll have a special announcement ship-wide, and it'll be on all the screens around the ship, and we'll announce then what the plans are.
Perfect.
But, 5th year anniversary, so few cool things to celebrate. There's a couple cool Star Trek anniversaries coming up that year. I think it's the 55th of the original series. Enterprise has got a little bit of an anniversary, so we'll try to tie into those things a little as well.
Perfect.
That's wonderful. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very happy to hear that because it's been very mum about Enterprise recently. So that was one of the questions, like, well, is that going to be some sort of celebration? So I'm glad to see, so we can report that Enterprise is not being forgotten.
So Joey, I want to give you an opportunity. So like the reason Marina and I are great at this show is because Marina's the planner and the person who gets everything nailed down, and then I throw it all out the window. So think about those two solar opposites in terms, and that's the kind of cruises we have. So like we're dealing with like, I need to know what the convention schedule is, and knowing that it's not a full convention, and me knowing that like we get daily updates on our schedule. So what would your recommendation be to the avid planners who are looking for more detail? How would you think they should take on this journey?
For planning the cruise?
Yeah, for their planning, like they want to know day to day,
right.
Which I know it's not 100% possible. So
sure.
What's your advice to those guys?
The best thing to do is as soon as you walk on this ship, you're going to be met by our event team, who we call morale officers, and they're going to hand you the full week souvenir program. And the best thing to go do is while you're killing a little time, eating lunch and all that, day 1 is just start looking through that program and start checking it all out, circling the things you want to do. Every day there's a daily program as well, and it's important to really look at that because obviously the souvenir program is a beautiful book that we produce, but because we have to print it ahead of time, there's always that chance that things could change. So while we're on the ship, we actually print a daily program. So that is always the most up-to-date and accurate and what we tell people to really look at. I mean, that's really about it, you know?
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it is just get that stuff and start checking it out. And I mean, I know a lot of people have booked excursions already, so they know what days those are, photo and autograph. You know, they've got their tickets ready for that.
So Marina, you ready for a little having to figure it out last minute?
Well, listen, I've had a lot of practice with conventions, so I can do a lot of stuff on the go. But
Yeah.
it is a valid thing because you know a lot of people need to know all the nitty gritty, and of course, as you said, it's not possible to do 100% because things can change at any moment.
Yeah. So, and I will, and Joey, I'll tell you, Marina and I, ever since we've been doing the podcast, we kind of been trying to challenge each other to see, you know, what we can do, right? And we went to, when did we go to London? We went to
the
Destination Star Trek.
Not London,
I think it was 2 years
Birmingham.
ago. Birmingham, yeah.
2018, that's right.
So, and then when the cruise came up and it was Voyager, I've been like egging her to come to the cruise. So like it was sold when it was Voyager.
Well,
so.
Voyager is one thing, but for me personally, it just also turned out to be that the timing became much better.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, January is not feasible. And then when they said, oh, and it's also going to be in March, I was like, oh, I am so there.
Yeah, and we have, and I want to tell you that a special shout out to our teachers, because I have a few teachers who said they're coming and can only come this year because it's in March. So you have made some of the educators happy, so we appreciate that. So
Well, that's good.
So anyway, Joy, those are our questions. Do you have anything you kind of want to let us know? Any last minute? Yeah.
Well, the only other thing I will say, and it's really definitely for Marina and anybody else who's new coming to the cruise, is I've heard you mention conventions and stuff a couple times, and really what we talk about is that the cruise is unconventional. So you're walking onto the ship and you're going to be totally immersed in Star Trek, but you're going to be able to see stuff and do stuff that you can't do anywhere else. And it's because the actors are there for all 7 days, and because just the amount of time and effort everybody puts into this. You'll never see all these actors get together and do the shows that they do and the things that they do. Really, the only thing that's 100% like a convention is the photo and autograph sessions. Otherwise, everything is so out of the ordinary and different and original, and it's just really great. It's really great to see the guests interact with the actors. It's really great to see the guests be in a 100% immersive environment for 7 days where they can be themselves 100% of the time. They go to their cabin and they walk out of their cabin and they're greeted by other Star Trek guests, and everybody is there for one purpose and one cause, and it's just a really nice feeling.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. I can't tell you how much I just simply cannot wait. This is incredibly exciting.
There's a reason this has become the thing I do now. So,
And the actors love it. I mean, every year we actually get called from actors saying, I want to come on. And, you know, some years it works out, some years it doesn't. And it's just more and more people want to come because they have such a good time. And they get to do stuff with their fellow actors and friends that they don't get to do anymore. And that's what's really cool.
I do remember. So one year I was out. I think it was Honduras or something. But we were doing an excursion, and Michael Dorn just in our group, and we all turned around. We're like, well, we didn't think this was a guest excursion, and he's like, no, I just want to go. I've never been here before. So I thought it was really neat because the guests really do kind of become one of us, you know, and the celebrities that come in feel like family at the end. So they do a great job. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm glad you're coming back, Marina. I hope you enjoy your first one. Get ready to take a vacation after your vacation because you're going to be tired.
Well, you're always busy and running around, but I'll try to say, hey, you're the tall guy, just so you can put a name to a face for us. So.
That's right. You both better stop me and say hi.
All right.
I'll
So
make sure.
So that's all we got. So Marina, I
Yeah.
think we can
wrap
wrap
this
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just something for the folks who are listening. If you're interested to check out more information, please go to www.startrekthecruise.com. All the information about the current cruise is there. And join the wait list if you still somehow maybe manage to have less than a month as of this recording to
Yep.
go. But at least sign up for a newsletter so you can be informed about Cruise 5. I'm sure we're going to be hearing more information pretty soon.
Yeah, and look on the show notes because we'll put in the Facebook group because we do have people who are last minute can't go, and so there's a lot of stuff going on in the Facebook group too where they're able to trade cabins and stuff. So
Well,
we'll help you there.
It's getting pretty tight, but who knows? But bottom line is, it's most of the information is online available, and so if you're interested, next year is your chance. And I guess that's basically wraps it up. I mean, we covered pretty much everything that folks reached out to us with. So Jesse, where can folks find you online?
So I am at Outrageous Okendo. That's OUTRAJESOKENDO. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, and on Facebook, you just have to look for Jesse Okendo, and you can't miss me.
And I'm Marina Kravchuk. You can find me under my full name, both Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, or under the handle at Dracorex, DRAKKOREX. Both Jesse and I, co-host this podcast.
Wonderful.
Co-admin the unofficial Star Trek Las Vegas convention with a couple of our friends. And you can find Shore Leaf both on Facebook and on Twitter at Shore Leaf. And I guess that wraps up this episode. Joey, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, and I'm Joey Fairchild, and you can find me on the Star Trek cruise.
Hey, we will put links all over there for you, Joey. Thank you so much,
right.
and thanks
Thank you.
everyone.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Marina.
No problem.
See you
Live
guys
long
on
and
the cruise.
prosper, all.
Keep tracking.